Hi guys, and welcome to my DIY channel. My name is Annalie, and in today's video, we are going to be doing this awesome collaboration that I will talk about in just a moment. So for this first DIY, these are some wall stickers that I picked up from Walmart. I got these for really cheap. I think these were like $2 or $3. I don't know if you guys saw these at your Walmart this year, but they were little designs that you could put on your wall, and I absolutely loved them and thought, how cool would this be if I put this onto something that I could keep forever, like a sign? So I picked up a couple of them, and even though this doesn't exactly follow the theme of this video just yet, it will all come full circle right soon. But I wanted to show you guys the process of how I do these little signs with these stickers. Excuse me, wood stickers, wall stickers, wood. Okay, let me try to start over. So as you can see here, I wanted this to be on a red background. So I picked up just some red poster board from the Dollar Tree, and then I went ahead and I used my, I don't remember what this is called right now, my L square? Is that what it's called? My arm square? I can't remember, but that little awesome tool right there, it helped me keep everything straight because I just lined it up with the poster itself, and then I just put these on. I followed the way that they were put onto in the box. Also, I'm so sorry, I did not pay attention to the angle of my camera, so you get to see a lot of the back of my head and my shoulder in this video, but I went ahead and I followed how it was on the back of the box, and then I just ended up putting all of these stickers down. They went on really easy. They were actually pretty forgivable for the most part. The foam core board was a little bit easier to work with than this actual poster board, but this is the only one where I do an actual poster board because I wanted the red. So right here you can see that the stickers are, you can see like that they're stickers, right? So you see where all of the white is around the sticker. You can see that it looks just like a sticker, something was put on there. So using something flat, you could use like a credit card or your Cricut squeegee or anything like that. This is just a plastic cover to my scissors. I went ahead and I just scraped it on. Just did some even, steady pressure. I didn't really have to push too hard, but scraping this on made a huge difference. I wanted to zoom in so that you guys could see the difference. So like I said, just that flat little tool right there, this is just the cap to my Cricut scissors, and I just went over the entire thing and pushed it all down, and it got rid of all of that white, and it transformed it from looking like stickers on paper to more kind of like a printed poster. So right now I am cutting it down to size. I kind of just put it on the poster without really measuring how I wanted it to be, and then I decided how much I wanted on either side. So I just measured it, kind of eyeballed it for the measuring part too, just to give me a little bit of an idea, and then cut off some straight edges right here because I am going to be gluing this to some foam core board to give it some stability and sturdiness so that we can put this into a frame. So to make your frame, you can do whatever you want to do. Right here, I just measured out where I'm going to be doing this, and it is freezing here in Idaho, but I needed to use my table saw. So I wanted to show you how I cut this out. This is just a piece of furring wood from Home Depot. It's like $2 or $3. And what I did was I put my blade down so that it didn't cut all the way through. And then I cut out what is called a rabbit ear. What that does is I cut into the wood only so far up, and then I turned it again. Basically, I cut out a little chunk of the wood, like a little square of the corner piece. I forgot to zoom in and show you guys how I did this, but I went ahead and just cut that out. So if you see down kind of where my hand is, you almost see like a little flatter edge, and that is so that I can put the foam core board onto that flat edge. That is what I cut out with my table saw. You guys don't have to do this. That's definitely an extra step. Especially if you don't have a table saw, you can just put together a frame, and then you can staple the foam core board to the back of the frame, which I actually did on some of mine, and I do that often with many of my DIY projects. And then I went ahead and I just put it together, all four of the edges. I just stapled it together, and then I went ahead and I got it stained. This is just the color Jacobian, one of my favorite colors. I like to do a different variety. I like the darker stains for sure. I even like the black stains. I think they look so good. Staining is still one of my favorite things because it's quick, it's easy, and you can be really messy with it. Sometimes painting is, I don't even know how I want to put it. It's too fancy, not really fancy, but like for me, I'm like, oh, I have to take the time to make this look nice. So then I feel lazy when I'm feeling lazy, I should say. When I'm feeling lazy, I stain it. But I sometimes stain it just because I want the look of it too. It's like, it's 50-50. Who knows? I do both. So I went ahead and I used my glue stick and I glued this down to the foam core board. I did have to cut this down a little bit to make it fit. Even though I measured it, it still was just a little bit big. I like to give myself a little bit of extra because I would rather have it too big than too small so that I can cut it down to size to fit versus having it be too small and then I have to start over with my frame. So I went ahead and cut this down, and then once this is all ready to go, trimmed into size, you won't see those edges that are cut. They'll be hidden by the frame. And so I went ahead and I just used my hand staple gun, not my like air staple gun, not the pneumatic one, but just this one. And I just went and stapled this to the wooden edges all around. And we have a very lightweight, easy picture. This is my very first time doing it with the poster board over the foam core board. I really like that it gives me different color options. The problem is I did leave it outside and it got cold, and you can see that it's rippling just a little bit. So I don't know if I will do this again. I will probably find other ways to get colored foam core board for the background, but I really like how this turned out otherwise, and the frames really are so easy to make. You guys could make these frames out of paint sticks. This video is a collab with these amazing ladies right here, hosted by Lisa. These ladies are so incredible. We are doing a collab today about the real reason for the season. So we have some DIYs for you that are more Christ-centered to focus on the real reason of Christmas. This is Lisa's channel, and you guys, she is so amazing. Make sure that you go check her out and give her a follow and a shout out because she is an incredible person, and you guys will love watching her. Thank you so much for hosting, Lisa. To get into the part of the video where I am trying to do the real reason for the season is this next wall hanging is, this is a nativity one. I also left this part in here to see you guys. I let you guys see this struggle because I was trying to put this onto some foam core board, and you can see how forgivable these stickers are, yet they're very sturdy and they stick right to the foam core. And yes, I definitely let you see me struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. Wow, I don't know if I needed to leave that much of the struggle in there, but it's okay. We all hopefully learned something, that it's very forgivable. Again, I'm so sorry with the angles. You will really not see me put much of this on because really, without me realizing it, most of what I did was just stand in front of the camera and block it with my giant head. But I ended up peeling off this wall sticker right exactly how it came. So I wanted this one to be a long one. This one's more of like a horizontal sign versus a vertical sign. So I just copied the picture and the way that it was on, and I stuck these down just like they are. And then I built a frame the same way, and then I just scraped it on. This one is so fast because you saw the process earlier in the video, and this video was really long enough, so I didn't make you watch another making of a frame. But there's this one. I love how this one turned out. This one is just so calming. It just brings peace to me, and I love seeing it hanging on my wall. It's right above our piano, so that when my son is practicing, we have that beautiful Christmas music that he's playing, and we have this beautiful sign to help us remember Christ is born and glory to the newborn King. This next sign is just another wall hanging sign. I do have a few more DIYs that are more Christ-centered, but I also just wanted to show you what you can do with all those wall hangings because I did end up picking up a couple of them. So again, here is just another quick process. This one is just going to be much faster because we've already done the detailed version of how to make these. But basically, just take these with some, however you want to design them. Oh, there they are. There's all the boxes. There you can see how many I ended up getting. I went ahead and just put these on. Like I said, I kind of matched the box. You can see the box over there in the left-hand corner, and I just copied it, put them on the way. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can put these on however you want them to be because they're your signs, so customize them the way that you want. but I went ahead and I pulled everything off of it, and then I just arranged it onto the foam core board. And again, it's very, very forgiving. Take your time, and because I found out that I oftentimes would put them on pretty crooked, and I didn't like how they were on, or I didn't like where they were spaced. So I did definitely use that as a reference just because I liked it, and then spaced these out as much as I could. Really just showed you a lot of my hair and my shoulder, the back of my head. I definitely was in due of a haircut. I did get one since just this filming of this video. I think it looks a little bit better, at least I hope so. And then I finished putting these stickers on. And then again, same process, measured it out to where I wanted it to be, cut out the foam core board, cut it down to size. And then I made a frame. The frame process was pretty much the same. I've made the frame for pretty much all of them the same way. Cut them down to size. Sometimes I use straight edges for the corners, and sometimes I use 90-degree angles. This one I think I did a 90-degree angle on this one, and then I just stapled it together right there, using the back wall as kind of a support. I do have corner clamps for this, and I actually recommend them because they work really well. I have small ones and bigger ones. My bigger ones, though, are actually in use for another project, so I went ahead and I just kind of eyeballed this. Sometimes I make things without using tools, and I'm okay if it's just a little bit off or a little bit uneven. It drives my husband crazy, but my answer for everything is we can just call it farmhouse, right? Because it just makes it real and authentic and custom and rustic. It's farmhouse. Using some Arteza paint, which I absolutely am obsessed with. This is just their acrylic paint. I went ahead and I painted this one red because I wanted this one to match and give just a little bit of a pop of color and break up the traditional stain that I always do. Plus, I wanted to show you guys that there are times where I try not to be too lazy and actually paint it and I just feel like painting takes a little bit more time than staining. That's all I mean. Staining looks amazing. It looks very nice and very high end. So I wasn't trying to diss that at all. I just feel that for me personally, I know I will stain something if I'm feeling too lazy to paint it. So I went ahead and I sanded the edges just to give it, of course, that rustic farmhouse feel, and then stapled this to the back of the frame. And here we go. Here it is, hanging. And again, here we are doing this one more time. Like I said, they're pretty much just sped up from here on out because I want you guys to see how many different options you have. And I actually didn't even end up putting them all in here. I think I bought 6 different wall stickers, and I believe I'm only showing you how many? 4? Is this the 4th one? I think this is the 3rd or the 4th one. And so just so you guys can get the idea, to put them on however you want using the foam core board, and then just again cutting it down to size. Scraping it down first, scraping it down, is that a term? Pressing it down with a scraper, and then cutting it down to size and putting it into a frame. Oh good, we skipped that part. I was worried I was gonna torture you guys with that again. So again, just stapling it in, and we have another one of these cute signs. Okay, and now jumping back into the theme of the video, for this next project, I started out by using my Cricut to just cut out some vinyl for me. This is a saying that is very common, but I love it. I think that is such a wise saying. So once I was done cutting this out, I just designed this I didn't even really design it, I just typed it out because this you'll see is just some text. I just typed out the phrase using this font, and it says, "Wise men still seek him." And then using one of these boards that I picked up from the Dollar Tree around fall time, it's just that raw wood. I left the wood raw because I liked it just being really natural. And then we're kind of going with like a painted black and white, not black and white, but black theme. or maybe not. I think I stained one of the signs black with black stain, and then these next two projects will have some black. So, but I wanted this to be some darker painted colors to put this on with this because the vinyl was black, and I really like how this turned out. So I painted these little sticks. These are just scrap pieces of wood that I had lying around. I cut them down to size, painted them, let them dry with that black Arteza paint that you saw, and then I just sanded the edges to make it look rustic. I really like using this paint to do this because I feel like it sands off well enough. It stays on when you want it to, but it also sands off in the areas that you want it to give it a really good rustic look. And just to change it up a little bit, mostly because I was feeling lazy and didn't want to go get my pneumatic staple gun, I went ahead and I just had some hammer and nails, and I just nailed this little frame together. So right here, I just got the nails started into the wood, added a smidge of wood glue because I feel that it'll help hold this project together, and then I just put these pieces together and then hammered them in place. I am loving the frames where they're not on a 45-degree angle in the corners so that they don't like come and meet each other. I love them to just be straight. So I usually do like longer edges on the sides, on my long sides, and then shorter pieces from my top and bottom. And I seriously just think that it gives it such a really rustic farmhouse feel, and that's exactly what I was going for, especially with sanding everything down. It worked out great. And then just using some wood glue, I just went ahead and glued this on to the top of it. I gave myself a little bit of room to glue that frame down, and then I just added some clamps to hold this on, and that was it. This sign was done, and now I can put it with my Christmas decor, and again, a very common but simple saying, and I think that it's going to go perfect with the rest of my decor with my theme of the reason for the season. And for this last DIY, I ended up picking up this piece of paper from Hobby Lobby on sale. I love it because it's a music sheet and it looks really old and vintage-like, and I really liked it. So I ended up doing the same thing with the paint. This is the theme that I was telling you about. Using some black Arteza acrylic paint, I went ahead and I painted these two flat sticks. These are my favorite sticks these are my staple here on my channel. I get these from Home Depot, and I cut those down to size. But I will actually show you me cutting or measuring those. Anyways, okay, sorry, I kind of jumped around. But right here, I used my Cricut to cut this out, and you can see here that I'm specifically using my fingers to trace over the vinyl only. I do this for a reason because I'm transferring onto paper, and I was worried about the transfer tape sticking to the paper and tearing up my paper, which is exactly what I didn't want. So when I transferred the vinyl, I was very careful to just barely press only on the letters so that they stuck down but not the paper, and it worked out great. I couldn't believe it, like how good it did not tear my paper. I also kind of de-stickied the paper. I know there's a term for that. By putting it on like my shirt. But anyways, here are my pieces that I painted and let dry, and here we are just sanding them down again. Sounds down really well. And then I cut them just to go a little bit over the edges to hang, because I wanted this to turn into a cute little scroll like poster hanging sign. And then I just used some wood glue to glue this on the top and the bottom, and some jute twine to secure this. And then of course, you guys, you know I have to embellish. I just have to embellish. And so I went ahead and tied just a little bow. It's not like a lot, it's just a little guy. And put that in the corner. The good thing is if you don't ever want a bow on it, you don't have to put one on. And if you put one on and you don't want it on later, you can always just pop it off. It's really not bad. And so I went ahead and glued those on. I let those dry thoroughly. And then once those were dry, I was able to flip it over. And then I just added my tiny embellishment. I love it. I love that there's a little bow, but you can totally leave it plain. And there is my little sign, my little scroll sign with the phrase from the song will come. Well, okay, that's not the name of the song, but this is a phrase from a Christmas song. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, I believe. Or, oh my gosh, don't ask me. don't ask me these hard questions. You guys, that's it. That is it for this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm sorry that I don't have an end segment. However, I will have one for you guys on my next video. If you get a chance, please check out the rest of these ladies. There will be a playlist linked in our description boxes down below. So be sure to check out these amazing ladies. Let them know that I sent you. And if you guys get a chance, please remember the reason for this season. And I wish you all the best. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you'd like to. Let me know what you think and give me a thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.